too.
Thanks. What is that little thing in your hair?
Oh,
Is it like a little braid?
Yeah. My friend Erica,
wow.
she came over and put like little pearls on my braid.
It's so pretty. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. High fashion. I got it. Well, how's it going? How's your 15th? Is it crazy today for you?
It's actually, I am like an anxious person sometimes, and I thought that I was gonna be like so overwhelmed and so like freaked out, but it's actually been really fun and exciting.
Good.
I haven't been overwhelmed.
It is. Like, I love this day. Like, I'm like, oh, like, it's, I don't know, it's fun. But it is, I think something nice is that now we can text you guys as opposed to calling, like, randomly. And I think it makes it a little easier. Or it's at least better for you guys. You can be like, okay, I can respond when I'm ready.
Yeah, I agree.
But good. And are you guys back in the pool now, or how's that looking?
This is our 3rd week back. So, yeah, we're only practicing for an hour a day. But, yeah.
But still.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like, and I wish we were back in. We're not in, unfortunately, but I think it's just there's a lot of red tape for colleges right now. Mm-hmm. So, but a lot of our swimmers have found like pools or clubs that they can swim in, which is good.
Yeah.
And is it so nice to be like in the water?
Oh, it's so nice. I had been swimming. My friend Krista, she has a pool in her backyard, so I had kind of been swimming there, but like once a week. But it's so nice to have the structure in my life again.
Yeah, right? I know, it's so weird. Like, I'll sleep until like 8, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm usually up at 4:30. Like, who am I? Like,
yes, that's exactly it.
But good, sweet. Well, tell me a little about you. Tell me about your family, what you want to go to school for. If you know, it's very early, so no pressure if you're like, I have no idea.
Well, I live with my mom. My dad lives in town too. I have 2 sisters, but they're both quite a bit older than me. One is 31 and the other is 27. So I'm the baby.
Yay, me too. The best spot to be.
Yeah. I go to Assumption High School.
Live? Where do your sisters live?
Everyone lives like around here. They're all very close. My sister lives in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Which is right across the bridge from us. It's like 15 minutes. And my other sister, she also lives in Louisville, so it's nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I go to Assumption High School. It's a all-girls school, so it's kind of nice.
Awesome.
Nice having that female leadership and
female vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Powerful ladies.
Yes, for sure. I transferred there from Atherton High School, and I couldn't swim at Assumption this year, which was really sad. But I'm so excited to swim my junior year. I'm so excited. I love being a part of the team.
Oh, because you transferred, so you couldn't swim there? Oh, they're probably so excited to have you.
Yeah, I got to like go to the meets and coach and just be a part of the team, and I loved it. I was so happy. So I want to study psychology. I either want to be a sports psychologist or a criminal profiler. Those are 2 very different pathways.
Okay, kind of similar though,
right?
Like, you know?
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
That's very cool. I like that. I mean, you know that we have a few psychologists on our team. We're working in like that kind of side of things. One of them got an internship this summer, so it's been kind of fun hearing about all that. Like, it seems, I mean, obviously right now I think it's especially busy, so.
Oh, yeah.
But in our sports psychologist, I love her. She actually swam at Ohio State, so she's like a Big Ten swimmer and now works with all of our student athletes. So I'm like, she's a good resource for a lot of our swimmers.
Yeah,
obviously.
That's great.
But cool, so that's what you want to be when you grow up. Very nice. And then, well, I mean, something interesting, you know, being an all-girls school, our team, we're not combined. both, but kind of like you said, I think it definitely creates an identity, our women are like insanely just driven, and I love their culture that they've kind of created, so
I love that.
you probably see something similar at your school, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited that you get to swim high school with them next year.
I'm so excited.
Is it what is the conference then? Is it a little different, or conference, I don't even know if that's what you guys call them, but how does your, is it it's a private school, I'm assuming, right? So is it a private school conference, or are you all mixed in, or how does that work?
So it's very confusing.
You're all mixed in.
We're all mixed in, but we're divided in all kinds of different regions. But my region, it's probably the best region for female swimmers, female athletes, because we have the two main Catholic private girls' school rivals in one conference, so it's really crazy to see that.
Intense.
Yeah, it's very, very intense.
Fun.
But it's very exciting. I love it.
Yeah, that's fun. That's I think that's very similar dual meet culture. Once you get to college, it's dual meets are, you're run down, and it's hard to swim fast,
Yeah.
Best times are very challenging during the season, but it's just getting to the wall and the place matters so much that it's fun. That's cool. So you have a little taste of that already.
Yes, I have a big taste of that.
Yeah.
I love it, but I love my rivals. We're all very close because we kind of train together a little bit, and we go to the same meets because everyone in Louisville really, if you're a good high school athlete, there's a big chance that right.
Yeah.
So we all know each other. We go to the same meets and we race there too. But we love each other.
I love it. That's good. That's the swim culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. Okay, I know you had mentioned somewhere, I don't remember reading in your thing you filled out. You're my coach encouraged me to fill this out. So does your coach know Purdue, or what is that connection there? Was he kind of just open up doors, see what's happening there? What?
So one of my coaches, she's going to grad school at Purdue. She was a distance swimmer. Her little sister is Abby Johns, and yeah.
Maggie!
Yes, Maggie!
Yes! Okay, yes, I know Abby, of course.
Yes. And so, Abby came and trained with us for a few days, in, August or September, and we got to talking about Purdue, and my coach was like, you should really, you should go for that. You should really get ahead of that and fill out some things, because I think that you would be a really good fit there. So, I did.
Yes, I love Abby Johns. I obviously know Abby more than Maggie just because I recruited her, and now she's gonna be here.
I know.
Almost. So it's crazy. We've been doing all that room meet stuff, getting them all ready to come in. So, but yeah, I know her sister too, just because her. But because her sister just graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I like it. Good connection there. And I think something that is exciting, that just kind of looking at, you would actually probably train with Abby a little bit too, right?
Yeah, distance swimmers.
Yeah, which is, pretty great. We have a very strong distance group coming in this next year, which is awesome.
I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, we have Abby, then we have Evie Sierra. She's also a really strong distance swimmer from Indiana, and then we have Haley Pike. She's one of the top ranked milers, and she actually made the U.S. national team for open water.
Ooh.
So, and then Kirsten, she's going to be training another year for the Olympics. She's ranked 3rd in the U.S. right now, I think. So
That's really cool.
Have us jacked. I know. I'm so excited to train them. We're going to get work. So
That's
I'm excited for our distance group. I think this year our distance group, we were good. I think people had great performances, but if you look at points wise, we'll have a ton more in distance next year, which will be exciting. But fun, exciting. What else? What questions, or what are some things? I guess to start. This is a long process. You for a while, but what are some, questions just off the bat? Anything that I can answer for you to start?
So, how do you build and like maintain healthy and loving relationships? So, like, do you have mentors, or do you go on training trips or retreats or anything like that to like nourish that family vibe?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think our team, and especially John, our head coach, he embodies that. I mean, we have family dinners at his house as a team, probably once a month in season. Like we're there eating, and a team that eats together stays together. So that's a big part. We also go on training trips. So last year we went to Florida. Next year we'll go to Hawaii. Or not this, but the next year after that. We do every other year. We do a lot of team building stuff. We actually do this thing called families. So it's usually led by like an upperclassman, a junior, or senior, and we split you guys into groups. And they kind of it's just kind of having a smaller group within the team, and there's someone from every class. And so sometimes they'll split up in their families. We'll be like, all right, draw a place that you're going to go to eat out of the hat, or, we're going to do relays in our families, or we're going to do this in our families. So, and the nice part about that is it's a lot of cross group. So yes, like our distance group is extremely close because they train. I think there's a certain grind to that. You can say that about every group. There's a breaststroke culture. They call themselves the breasties. Then they have like distance culture. They're the D crew. So, you have those cultures, but I think the families help make it the whole team. So it's, another culture within. So that's huge. But yeah, we do a ton of team-oriented stuff, and I think that's something that John really emphasizes just even in our, like, budget planning. Like, it's like, all right, we're going to go to eat. We're going to go on these fancy dinners. We're going to do this. And that's something, and they do it on their own as well. They all live together, so it's pretty cool. Like right off campus, so freshmen, they live in dorms, and after that they live right off campus in houses. And some of their houses actually face each other, like across the street. So they all live together. So, but I think between practicing together, living together, and then creating opportunities where it's not just about swimming, like whether we're laser tag or we're, some laser tag. I beat them in laser tag, though, just to be clear.
Oh, I love laser tag.
Stuff like that gives them opportunities to see each other in different ways too. I think is really important. So
yeah. At Assumption, we have those families too.
Okay, so you guys do stuff like that too. I'm assuming.
Yeah, obviously the families are a lot bigger, and there are like 9 of them, and each one for each grade has like 30 kids. But yeah, we have.
How big is the team?
Well, at Assumption High School. So not my club team. I'm in the national group on my club team, and we have 8 people now. So very different.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we do this like family Olympics, and we all we collect points over the entire year, and my family actually won this year, so that's really cool.
Yeah, actually we do that. We do black and gold, so this is another way we split our team. We split them in 2, and we'll do like races throughout the year, and then the loser has to make dessert for the winner. And we have like a big dinner at John's house. And
that's good.
They present their desserts. So yeah, see, that's fun. Yeah, we definitely like to do. You got to keep it exciting,
Yeah.
But.
Awesome. That's really special to me, like coming from a culture that has that. And we also like on Cardinal with our 8 people, we get into groups
and small group.
Yeah, we all train. There are 2 groups that are like kind of the elite groups, and there's probably like 30 people in the senior group, and then there's like 8 people in the national group, and we'll get together and we do Olympic week, and we do red black week, and it's like just a rival team, so that's kind of the same.
That's fun. Sweet.
Yeah.
And that's with all 30 of them, or just the 8?
All of us.
All the senior. Okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah. We like having kind of stuff like that. It helps break up the week too.
Yeah.
But, sweet. What else?
So, how would like a normal day or week of training look? Do you have like recovery days? How many times do you lift?
Yeah, so for distance, actually, so most people go 3 mornings, but distance goes 4. But within that, there is a couple, like, so Friday morning is pretty cool, I think. That's kind of, I'm skipping the Friday morning. I should go through the whole week. But, so yeah, so you have your mornings, and Monday mornings usually kick. Do you want me to go, like, in detail over? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, detail? Yeah. Okay, cool. So Monday morning is usually kick-based, and everyone does that. Distance will split off and do a little bit of a pull set towards the end, whereas like sprint will split off and do power. Monday night is threshold. So do you guys are you familiar with like colors or kind of heart rates for threshold?
No.
So it's all good. Like you'll know instinctively, and you'll like start to assign those. Basically, when you're doing a set and, you're getting a little short rest, but not a ton, and you're uncomfortable, but you're sustaining, and your heart rate's pretty high, but not like maxed out. That's kind of that threshold zone. So we have a couple zones within there, especially as you get into better shape. And as the season goes on, you want that threshold. You want to be able to go faster and just make that easier, right? So maybe at the beginning of the year, you're like, okay, I can pull 104s and hundreds on the 115 pretty easy. By the end of the year, I want to hold 59s, or whatever that kind of helps us measure progress a little bit more in relation to our goals. But so that's kind of that Monday night practice is a little bit, I would say, a very challenging practice in terms of probably yards, a little bit longer, something you would probably like as a distance swimmer. And then Tuesday morning is there'll be a little bit like just a little more pull, some shoot work for distance, and actually we do a little power with distance as well. So have you done power tower before? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll do that, and distance does a couple things with power tower. Sometimes we'll actually do distances with it, so like okay, a 400 or 500 or whatever that is, and you're always going easy back. But we don't start with a 500. We build up because that's really hard, especially depending on how much weight you have in there. But we also do like more tempo reps where it's like, okay, holding your stroke count, 25s, a little more rest. And then Tuesday night, we'll get into a little bit more of, active rest, which is, I accidentally exited you. Active rest is more, like let's say you might have descending 100s or descending 200. It could be anything, but between you have more of like a flush out. So it might be like 6 rounds of 100 plus 100. The first 3 100s are descending, and then the last 3 you're really pushing. But between those, and you might have like a goal that you're trying to hit on those 100s, or that can change. But between you have 100 on a not necessarily easy interval, but a little shorter or more relaxed interval that you flush out. Does that make sense? You probably done something like that. Sorry, is this too much detail?
Oh, no, I love it. I love it.
Okay. Then Wednesday morning distance has off, and then at night it's a little more like speed. So like VO2 max, lactate. For distance, it usually is a little bit longer, but we try to do some practices where everyone's together. We have opportunities to, because, our mid-distance needs to go up sometimes too. So a mix of that. And, seeing for you, who knows, you're going to swim 200, right?
Right.
So I think you need to tend to all parts of that. And we have swimmers that bounce around groups, and it just depends on what works for you. So that's Wednesday night, and then Thursday is a little bit more of like distance does pull, some shoots also in there. It's usually a little bit of more of a recovery. So there's it's kind of it's not super crazy, but it's a little bit longer pulling, or not longer distance, but longer resting. Some shoe work, kind of a little potpourri, but nothing crazy. And then at night, you get back to more of a threshold workout, so kind of that more challenge. I shouldn't say more challenging, because sprinting is very challenging too, actually very extremely, but kind of more of what you think is a distance. And then Friday morning is variable, so we've had swimmers that have come in and been like, hey, on my club team I did 3 1,000s, and I love doing that once every 2 weeks just to like get a feel for the water. We have some that are like, hey, I need to do more kick. I'm a kick-oriented distance swimmer, so what we would design a set for them on that Friday morning. Maybe it's a distance swimmer who needs, whatever it is, but we kind of orient that to what that swimmer might need. And then Friday, does that make sense for that? And then Friday night, we actually try to mix it up a little, so you'll have a little bit more stroke. It's definitely aerobic based, but not just constantly doing freestyle. I think it's important too. And then Saturday, we go back to a little bit more speed stuff. VO2 max, lactate, and then Sunday you're off. And then we distance lift twice, and does dry land 3 times.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a lot of information.
Oh no, it's great. I'm like a big planner, so I love like seeing the big picture.
Yes. Oh my gosh, John is a huge planner. So yeah, and we honestly that schedule throughout the season it does change. Like so later in the year, especially after winter training, we'll move into having recovery days on those Thursdays, Wednesday. So it changes, but that's kind of like the gist and base of the schedule.
Good.
Depending on like where we are in the season, so
yeah, it's nice to like have a detailed like picture of it. I love that.
Yeah, you definitely know like what work you're gonna do that day for the most part. I think you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing today. So, but do you guys have like similar kind of schedule, or is it like you're not sure what's going to happen that day, which I think is also fine. It's whatever. But
yeah, like I said, I feel like I get my planning skills probably from my coaches. So on Mondays we have kick and pull. Tuesdays it's VO Tuesday, so we do VO2 on Tuesdays. Wednesday is normally like we call it A3. It's like aerobic pace, like,
okay.
So not like going fast, but probably like 80-85% for like longer distances, like 30 100s or.
Okay, that's similar to kind of our threshold, or like when we use our red color. Okay, yep, totally.
And then Thursdays are recovery days. Friday is kind of like you never really know what's gonna happen, but like what's gonna happen. So it's a bunch of.
I call that the potpourri day. Like,
yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. So Friday, it's the end of the week. So normally we'll do like stations, but you never really know what's gonna be in the station. And then Saturday is a complete wild card. That's where we do our challenge sets and our hard sets, and it's like the hardest day of the week, and then Sunday's off. But over the years it's kind of changed, like what days we do doubles, but we don't normally swim in the morning except on Fridays, but it's very confusing because some days we'll swim in the morning on Friday, but then we'll have the afternoon off, and then some days we do both.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and then on Mondays and Wednesdays is normally when we do dry land, and it's very like CrossFit-y. So, but we do that in the morning.
You do that at the pool?
We do. We go to a separate gym.
Okay.
So it's really nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
We do our dry land at the pool, but our weights, we have our weight room. That's beautiful.
Oh. Love it.
I know. It's so nice. All right. So Yeah, I mean, that's definitely similar kind of in terms of schedule / ideas, general concepts, but
yeah.
very good. What's your, like, favorite? Which one's, like, your favorite practices? I mean, other than Saturday, obviously.
It's, I don't really know. Definitely not Monday, that one. Because I love, like, the pull portion, but I've never been a good kicker.
You got better this year.
I've gotten better this year. I really have, and I've really tried hard to improve my kick, but
Kicking, kicking is especially, I mean, I find, you have most distance swimmers are not kick oriented.
Right.
In general. But we have two that are right now. So they do quite a bit of kick, but
that's where you have
yes, kicking is hard, and to get better at it, you really have to do it, which is, we kick a bit, though. I mean, we kick, yeah. I think that's probably a big change for a lot of people when they get to college, is kicking a lot. But I always think and say, if you become a better kicker, you'll become a better swimmer.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very excited. I know that's a
little different than mine, but
that's the main area where I need growth and can improve.
It's exciting.
Yeah. But I think Wednesdays are my favorite because our training schedule has changed. So Wednesdays and Fridays, the afternoons are only an hour and a half instead of 2 hours. So it's like really, really hard, but for 30 less minutes. So I really like
Wednesdays.
Mornings. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just get the work done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I feel like with us, like, so our mornings are an hour and a half and our afternoons are 2 hours. But, like, in the morning, it's not unusual to be like, hey, we're done 10 minutes early. I don't think it's like, we never go over. We want to respect your guys' time. I think that's important with everything that you guys balance. I think one time I went over like 30 seconds, and I was like, oh, God. But I was like, yeah, finish is 25. But, in general, we try hard not to go over with the practices, and if anything, we'll go under time-wise. So once you get it done, there's no reason to just fluff.
Right, but, my coach loves a good curveball.
Your coach what?
My coach loves a good curveball. Throw it in at the end of practice, just gets you. I love it
10
too.
10 minutes left, 10 100s on the minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, though. No, they'd say it builds character, right?
For sure. So, I know we were talking about psychology, and that's something that I want to pursue, but so what would you improve about, like, psychologists and nutritionists on your team? Like, do you think you have, like, a really awesome program with that and with, like, support systems, or what would you change?
Yeah, our nutritionist is insanely amazing. Like, and I think something that has, like, opened my eyes to that has been all of this. Like, being in COVID, she has probably communicated, I mean, obviously, us as coaches communicate with our swimmers a lot, but every week she's contacting them and giving them different things to do in terms of nutrition, which I think right now, especially when they're not in the pool, is so paramount. And when we have team, or I guess staff meetings, I'm just like, thank you, Lindsay. Like, this, like, you're doing so much for our team that is kind of unseen, right?
Right.
I think she also acts as another person for them to talk to. They all get along with her. So in terms of dietitian, the only thing I can say is we share her with 3 other teams. So, like, we don't have her 100% of the time. But she comes to NCAAs with us. She comes to meets with us, which I think is really uncommon to travel your dietitian to a meet like that. She'll bring all the snacks, set them out. Like, she kind of caters all. So we have a fueling station at the pool. She'll cater that, make sure, what it is healthy, and then they all know kind of how to read the symbols that she puts out. And in terms of sports psych, so I think Lindsay, she keeps coming up with ways to be better, which is really important. On sports psychology side, one thing I how they communicate with our swimmers. I know a ton of our swimmers use them. We have 2 full-time on staff. Kelsey, who's the one I was telling you about, who's also a swimmer college, she comes in and works with our team. I would love to do it more. We need to do it more. And I think especially, it's such a huge thing, and we hired them this year, so those are 2 new positions. And I only expect that to grow. And I think having her coming in and working with our team, it's just like, yeah, we need more of this, and we need to continue to do this. So in terms of individual, I know a lot of individuals love working with her and our other, his name is Brad. They've really enjoyed working with them, and sometimes they actually share things with the team. They're like, this is what Brad has me do. And so it's kind of education within. But I'd love to see her work with the team, or him. I say her just because she's a swimmer, so I think there's a whole nother level. But they'll come and observe practice sometimes too, which is nice. And just kind of see what's going on. And it's just like, okay, yeah, now what can we do to help this? Or because they kind of know what some swimmers' fears are maybe in practice, or but they are not really allowed. They don't talk to us about it a lot. So
yeah.
But I think that's fine. I think at the end of the day, if as many people as our swimmers can have to connect with and communicate with, it's great. Right?
Yeah, and for me, I've been working with a sports psychologist. She has helped me so much with my mindset, and that's ultimately helped me achieve the success that I have. And it's really something that's so important to me, is like to work on my mental health as much as my physical health. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, it's so important. And I think elite, our top swimmers, they're learning how to do that, and they've learned how to do that, but it's like we also need to teach and learn and figure out what everyone's a little different, and everyone's fears and what they interact with is different, and their history and where they come from is different. So how do we help them get to a point where I'm confident behind the blocks even, or in my relationships with their teammates, or whatever it is that could. You probably have learned a lot about yourself, I'm assuming, through working with her or him. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we should be doing. That's cool. So how long have you been able to do that for?
Well, I went to NCSA's this past summer, and it was at IUPUI, and the meet was awful. I did very, very bad. It was that's not even an understatement. It was just really rough. It was one of the rough ones. Yeah. And on the very last day, I was like, I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to do some good things. So I came back to Louisville, and I started working with her. That was in August. I started seeing a personal trainer once a week for 30 minutes. So I would lift and build up muscles in my shoulders, because I've had some shoulder injuries, but I haven't had one since I started working with them. So improving.
Is it just kind of strengthening the little muscles and stuff? Yeah, we do a lot of that.
Yeah,
so.
That's really important. So that has helped me so much, having that person that understands how it is to be an athlete, and not just because I have a really good relationship with my mom, and I feel like I can talk to her about all of that, but having someone that was a collegiate athlete and understands how it is, and the stressors that are put on you. So I think that is so important, and I love learning about how college teams, how much of an importance they put on mental health.
Yeah, I think, and I think that's, that's something that's definitely, even from when I swam in college, that's increased so much, and you look back and you're like, man, I wish I could have figured out how to not be scared of the whatever, or I could have figured out how to get over that set, or and that can even go into school. I think another really important thing about our women is that they talk to our sports psychs, but it's not about sports a lot of the time.
Right.
It's about things that are going on in their lives, and some of our women have overcome things that I'm like, and sometimes they come to practice and I know what's going on in their home life, and I'm like, this is like, you know, you are like, and they kick butt and they come in and so just knowing some, obviously, you know, a lot of things about your athletes that maybe the group doesn't know, and that's fine, but they do a really good job of managing that too. I would actually probably say our sports psychologists probably work with the non-sports side, but it's sports side, you know,
yeah.
but it's other things too, just as much.
Right.
But it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
Like, I failed a test, I'm so stressed out, I'm never going to graduate. Like, you know, that can amplify into your practices, and obviously passing school is more important. So
yeah,
finding a way to mitigate that.
Yeah, and once I started working with my sports psychologist and started doing that lifting, even if it was just 30 minutes a week, I went back to IUPUI in January and I got my juniors cut. So,
like, see ya.
Yeah, I was like, well.
And you dropped 9 seconds in your 4 a.m.
Yeah, I did drop 9 seconds in my 4 a.m. It was
casual.
But yeah, so it's always been something really important to me, especially now.
Yeah, and I think something that's, you know, as a college coach, what's nice to see is that, I mean, you are very young, and you're young in your career, and you, I mean, obviously you are an elite swimmer, you're in a national group with 8 people. How many people are in that small of a group at that level? But the earlier and the more you can start to know these things on your own and learn these things, it's only going to benefit you. Like, okay, I'm figuring out what I need. And that's so important because no one else can force you to do that. Or, I mean, we can offer that and give that, but it's like you're the one who makes that happen. And I think that's, you know, you see that. I just look and I'm like, the kids that I coach and that, you know, now I'm recruiting, they're so far ahead of what I think where we were when we were your age, which is great.
Yeah.
I think that's why swimming keeps getting faster.
I agree. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, that was fun too. That was a good spiel there. But yeah, what else? Any other? What can we do for you? Or like, okay, I'll send you some information for sure on your major and stuff. But what works for you in terms of, you know, obviously this is just getting started, but would you want to talk in like a week or 2 weeks, or what is a good timeline for you, I guess?
Yeah, like probably week by week, as like we build up in swimming and stuff like that, I'll know where I am. So communicating that with you, obviously. So I think week by week would be really good.
Love it. So what about this? Do you want to schedule our next call? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
I have my mom right here.
Next week, and then next week, how about we talk? You can tell me a little bit about, you know, kind of what you envision your goals in college, and that can span from academics, athletics, interpersonal, like just kind of what you want to accomplish, and in that, maybe just talk a little bit about like your, I guess, role right now within your team too.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Sweet. Okay, I just grab my phone to get my calendar. What's a good time to chat next week? Okay, today's the 15th, so any 22nd to the 27th.
Monday or Tuesday is probably good.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
All right, let's go Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday? Sweet. What time? Is it the same time?
You meet with
maybe
at 11, so maybe 1?
1 does 1 work?
Sweet. I have nothing.
Okay.
So unless we're back in the pool, I'll change it, but we are not yet. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have practice in the morning, then you have Luke that day.
Yeah. I see my personal trainer that day at 11, so 1 works great for me.
Nice. Sweet. Okay, cool. All right, I have you down 1 o'clock. Cool. Do you want to Zoom again?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
fun.
Zoom.
I like Zooming.
Me too. It's so much easier.
Like, I know, and I'm like, it's human.
Yeah, I can see your face.
Yeah. I know, I like that. It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
See my nice hair. I was like, oh, Zoom. I was like, I gotta my hair. Not brush it, don't worry. Just push it.
Put it up.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, we'll talk to you next week, okay?
Okay.
All right. It was awesome chatting, and we'll see you later. Have a good week, okay?
You too.
Bye.
Bye. I loved her too. University of Denver? University of Denver.
I loved her.
I
You have to
loved
get ready
her.
for LSU.
I loved her.
I loved her.
I loved
didn't know
her.
their business program's going to kick ass next year, and then if you went in the year after that, oh my God, we would have some great competition. That would
Love
be really
that.
good.
That was so good.
I accidentally opened that email.
What email?
That text message from
Denver? Can I read it?
Denver. Yeah, it's right there at the top. He wants to talk to you.
What time did it just talk about it?
You should probably talk to him.
Yes, I want to.
We gotta do that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, not today.
Oh yeah. What time should I say?
Well, you have practice in the morning, and then Luke at 11.
Is Luke gonna be here tomorrow?
Yes.
Like actually?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was talking to him about earlier.
Okay.
Sorry.